gonna do 10 minutes relaxation, some meditation, some stretching. I'm gonna set a timer on my watch so we don't go over 10 minutes. Sometimes you can, it gets to be where you just are feeling good and maybe you need longer than 10 minutes. So we're going with 10 minutes. I'll start my timer. All you need is a place to sit or stretch out, lay down. I just grabbed a yoga mat and laid it out here. And if you don't have a yoga mat, maybe a towel or somewhere soft on the floor. I am outside, which I prefer, but you could be anywhere, maybe inside your house. You could be in the office, wherever. It doesn't matter. It's 10 minutes. We can do it. So make sure you have your stuff, and I'll start the timer. I'm gonna just sit cross-legged on my mat. You can sit however you want. This is called the easy pose. So you'll just sit cross-legged, up nice and tall. And I'm gonna start 10 minutes. Okay, so just make sure you're comfortable. I'm gonna pull your belly button in, and then you're just sitting up nice and tall. So you're lengthening up through the top of your head, really thinking about length in your spine. And then you just wanna relax your shoulders, because sometimes we'll carry them up, lots of tension, so just try and drop them down away from your ears. You can do whatever you want with your hands. If it helps to cross your fingers or just resting them on your knees. If you want to do palms up, sometimes that helps you from fidgeting. You can close your eyes, but just get comfortable, try and relax, kind of listen to the things around you. You don't have to go anywhere for 10 minutes. So just try and chill. And then once you start feeling your body start to relax, you can start working on your breath. So just trying to slow your breathing down. You don't have to be, counting or anything like that. Just be aware of what your breath is doing. If you're breathing in through your mouth, breathing out through your mouth. If you're breathing through your nose and out your nose. There's no real way to breathe, but breathing in through your nose and out through your nose will slow your breathing down. Filter your air and calm you down. So we'll just try breathing in through our nose, filling up our lungs, and then breathing out through our nose. I want you to do about 3 or 4 nice deep breaths, just in and out. And just try and relax. You can close your eyes, think about your posture. So we'll come back here at the end. We've gone about 2 minutes here. So we're gonna move into a child's pose. So basically you're just gonna bend your knees. Kind of walk back, if you have a mat, to the edge of your mat. And then take your knees just about hip width apart, whatever is most comfortable. Now if you have a pillow or a block or something to rest your head on, that's fine. I don't have anything out here, and I'll show you an option if you don't have anything either. But you're just gonna take your hands and reach them forward and push back into your hips. Now, you can have a strong reach, which will stretch out your upper back, or you can relax your elbows down and just let your shoulders, your head and neck relax. And if that felt good to stretch your arms forward, maybe you can move from relaxation to reaching. It's kind of whatever you want to do, but this is a great lower back release. Now, if your forehead hurts resting it on the floor, you can cross your arms and then just rest your forehead down on your arms. And you can adjust the height by just taking your elbows out a little bit wider. Again, find that comfortable position. Then I want you to just breathe. So maybe 4 or 5 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. So just take the next few minutes to do that. And then try and find those spots. You know, maybe you do have a lot of lower back pain. So take your breath in and try and ease that lower back pain. And really try and expand your rib cage. So as you breathe in, I want you to feel your rib cage expand in your back. Really stretch it out and then really let your breath just come out nice and slow. We're in no rush. We still have a lot of time left. So after you've done about 4 or 5 breaths, we'll just slowly come back up. And we're going to do a hip stretch. So call it a half pigeon pose. So you'll start in a tabletop, so on your hands and knees. And then we'll take whichever leg you want to start with. I'm going to start with my left side. I'm going to take my knee forward. I'm going to sit back onto my hips. So my back knee can remain bent. My front knee is just facing forward. And then what I'm going to do is take my chest and shoulders and bring them forward over that front leg. Now, if you're not feeling much of a stretch in your left hip up here, you can extend your back leg out, and then you're just going to lift your hips kind of up and over, but make sure your foot is just to the outside of your hips. And you can adjust it if you want to move forward or back, depending on how much stretch you want. Now you can stay here on your elbows. If you need a little bit less, you can come up onto your hands. And then if you want to relax even more and you have that flexibility, you can bring yourself all the way down and relax your head down towards the floor. Now, if you're going to stretch forward and your head doesn't reach the floor, you're just going to take 2 fists, stack them up one on top of the other, and then just rest your head down. So once you find that position that you're most comfortable in, you're getting a nice hip stretch. Try and focus in on your breathing again. Inhaling in through your nose. And exhaling out through your nose. And try not to think about anything going on. Just focus in on stretching out your hips. Drowning out any extra noise you have in the background, unless you have some nature sounds like I do. Have a little traffic, but that's okay. So again, 4 or 5 nice deep breaths. If you want to move around, you can move your hips from side to side. You can bring your hands up and then walk yourself back down. It's really whatever feels best and what you're most comfortable with. Some of us just want to lay flat. So we're just going to move to the other side. I'm just going to pull your knees up and rotate them. So your other knees forward, and then same thing. Knees bent. Bring everything forward if you don't have that flexibility in your right hip this time. If you do, just lift it up and square your hips and shoulders to the ground. And then bring your arms forward. Stack your hands, your fists one on top of the other. And just kind of feel how this hip feels just a little bit different than the other side, which is good and normal. We just carry ourselves differently throughout the day. Maybe we sleep different. But a few deep breaths here, maybe 4 or 5 again. Okay, then slowly walk yourself back up. Now this time we're just gonna flip onto our backs and lay flat down. We'll keep our knees bent, so your heels will be close to your backside, your heels in line with your hip bones, so your knees are straight. And then just resting your upper back on the ground, pulling your shoulders down away from your ears. Just take your hands, you can move them out away from you and bring your palms up towards the ceiling or the sky. And then just gently tucking your chin towards your chest, so you're lengthening out the back of your neck. We're gonna come into a bridge pose. So if you have any lower back issues, if you just have weak lower back in general, this is a great exercise that you can begin with. But it's also great to relax, stretch out your hip flexors, which get really tight when we sit for hours and hours, and strengthen our lower back. So you're just gonna push into the floor, lift your hips up. Now, you can go as high as your muscles will take you. Eventually you want to be in line, shoulders all the way down to the knees. You don't want your knees to flare out, and you don't want them to come in together. You want them nice and straight. And then you want your feet to press all the way down. So you want all of your toes to press. You want your heels, your big toe, little toe, all the way across. And then again, 3, maybe 4 deep breaths, depending on the strength of your backside. If you need to, you just roll it down, take a little bitty break, and then come right back up, okay? So strengthening our glutes, our hamstrings, and our lower back. Now you don't ever want pressure like up on your head. It's always right between your shoulder blades. That was our 10 minutes. It went by super fast. So you're gonna roll yourself back down, and then just grab behind your kneecaps and roll yourself up. So if you have maybe a couple more minutes, you can come back to our easy pose. If not, awesome. You just did 10 minutes of really great hip opening stretches, some lower back work, and if you have just a couple of minutes, I won't take too much more, but come back to easy pose, kind of roll your shoulders out, just whatever feels good. And then we're gonna do a neck stretch. So I want you to think of taking your ear just down to your shoulder. Don't let your head come forward or back, just straight to the side. If you want, you can gently pull, but don't pull too hard to where it's painful. Maybe 2 breaths, and then release, slowly come up, and then just let your head tip over to the other side. So if you feel a great stretch here, just reaching towards your shoulder, you don't need the extra help. But if you do want some extra help, just a nice, even just placing your hand up here will stretch that out even more for you. 2 more deep breaths. And then we're just gonna do a little head roll. So you're gonna take your ear to your shoulder, bring your chin down to your chest, ear to the opposite shoulder, back down, chin to chest, ear to the opposite shoulder, and back down to your chest. And you're welcome to do that a few more times if you'd like, but that was a good 10 minutes. Nice big shoulder rolls if you want. I'll see you all next Wednesday for some more stretching, meditation, and relaxation.